Every time you try to change your life, an invisible force pulls you back to the couch, the snooze button, and the easy path. That force is not weakness or laziness. It is your own brain, working exactly as it was built to work. The hard truth is that your brain does not care about your dreams. It cares about keeping you safe and comfortable. This video explains why your mind fights your goals, what is really happening in there, and how to override it. And the trick to beating it is the opposite of what most people try. Start with the why, because it changes everything. For most of human history, life was dangerous and food was scarce. The humans who survived were the ones whose brains pushed them to conserve energy, avoid risk, and stick to what was familiar. Wandering into the unknown could get you killed. Burning energy for no reason could starve you. So your brain evolved to reward comfort and punish risk. That ancient wiring kept your ancestors alive, and you inherited every bit of it. Here is the problem. That same wiring is now working against you. Your brain still treats anything new or hard as a threat, even when the only danger is a slightly uncomfortable workout or an awkward first attempt at a new skill. When you try to push past your comfort zone, your brain hits the alarm. It floods you with excuses, doubts, and the sudden urge to do literally anything easier. You think you are being lazy. Really, your survival system is doing its job a few thousand years too late. So how does this sabotage actually feel day to day? It feels like resistance. You plan to wake up early, and the warm bed suddenly feels impossible to leave. You sit down to do hard work, and your hand reaches for your phone before you even decide to. You want to start a goal, and your mind whispers that tomorrow would be a better time. That whisper is the comfort system talking. It is not telling you the truth. It is just trying to keep you exactly where you are. Why does your brain love the familiar so much? Because the known feels safe and the unknown feels risky. Even a bad situation you are used to can feel more comfortable than a better situation you have never tried. This is why people stay in jobs, habits, and routines that slowly make them miserable. The brain prefers a familiar misery over an unfamiliar hope. Once you understand that, you stop being surprised by your own resistance and start seeing it for what it is. Now for the part that matters. How do you override it? Here is the first key, and it flips the usual advice on its head. Stop waiting to feel motivated. Most people believe they need to feel ready before they act. But your comfort system will almost never hand you that feeling, because action is exactly what it is trying to prevent. So you must learn to act first and let the motivation catch up later. Movement creates momentum. You do not think your way into action. You act your way into the right state of mind. The second key is to make the first step almost laughably small. Your brain sounds the alarm at big, scary changes. So do not give it a big, scary change. Want to exercise? Just put on your shoes. Want to write? Just open the page and write one sentence. The step should be so tiny that your brain does not bother to resist it. Once you start, the hardest part is already behind you, and continuing feels far easier than beginning ever did. What is the third key? Expect the resistance and name it. When that wave of excuses hits, do not panic and do not believe it. Instead, recognize it. Tell yourself, this is just my comfort system trying to protect me, and it is wrong this time. Naming the feeling strips away its power. It stops being a mysterious wall and becomes a predictable, beatable opponent. You cannot defeat an enemy you do not understand, but this one you now understand completely. Here is a fourth tool, and it is a powerful one. Use discomfort on purpose, in small doses. Take the cold end of the shower. Do the workout you dread. Have the hard conversation you keep avoiding. Each time you willingly do something uncomfortable and survive, you teach your brain that discomfort is not actually dangerous. You slowly widen your comfort zone from the inside. The more you practice being uncomfortable on purpose, the less power the comfort system holds over the rest of your life. Why does any of this work? Because you are not trying to delete your survival wiring, which is impossible. You are learning to work around it. You let the alarm ring without obeying it. You shrink the task until the alarm stays quiet. You step into discomfort often enough that your brain updates its idea of what is safe. Over time, the things that once felt terrifying become ordinary, and your comfort zone expands to hold a much bigger life. There is another trap worth understanding. Your brain also chases quick hits of pleasure. A scrolling feed, a snack, a notification, each one hands you a tiny reward for almost no effort. Hard goals, by contrast, pay off slowly and only after struggle. So your brain naturally drifts toward the easy reward and away from the difficult one, even when the difficult one would change your life. Recognizing this lets you stop blaming your character. You are not broken. You are simply wired to grab the easy hit, and now you can plan around that wiring instead of being ruled by it. Here is a deeper tool than any single trick. Change who you believe you are. Most people try to force new actions while still seeing themselves as a lazy or undisciplined person, and the old identity keeps pulling them back. Instead, start telling yourself a new story. You are someone who shows up. You are the kind of person who does the hard thing. When an action matches the person you believe you are, it stops feeling like a fight. The goal is not just to do disciplined things. It is to slowly become a disciplined person in your own eyes. One more habit makes all of this stick. Keep score of your small wins. Each time you act despite the resistance, mark it somehow, even just a note or a check on a calendar. Watching those marks pile up does something powerful to your brain. It turns effort into visible progress, and progress feeds motivation. A chain of small wins becomes proof that you can do hard things, and that proof makes the next hard thing easier. You are slowly building evidence that the comfortable voice in your head is wrong about you. Here's the truth to hold on to. Your brain will never stop trying to keep you comfortable, and that is fine. You do not need to win the war forever. You only need to win the next small battle, the next early morning, the next hard task, the next step into the cold. Every time you act despite the resistance, you get a little stronger, and the pull of comfort gets a little weaker. Discipline is not a feeling. It is a skill you build one uncomfortable choice at a time. And that leaves you with a question worth answering honestly. If the only thing standing between you and the life you want is a survival alarm that is wrong about the danger, how much longer are you going to let it run your decisions? Like it, subscribe, and comment the one comfortable habit you are going to override this week.